Watch. Jennifer Lopez gets emotional after recalling a fan's sign. When it comes down to it, we don't think any of the Euphoria characters belong together. If we could sit these teens down and offer them some advice, we'd likely tell them to invest in themselves instead of their significant others. And maybe, we'd warn Cassie, Sydney Sweeney, and Maddie, Alexa Demi, that Nate, Jacob Elordi, has darkness in his eyes. But we're not a counselor at Euphoria High in Thesis, a fictional show. So, we've settled for ranking the couples from somewhat healthy to incredibly toxic. We're sure you can guess who falls under the latter category, because, let's face it, none of these couples can really be held up as shiny examples of what love should look like. In just 1.5 seasons, we've seen these characters cheat on each other and endure appalling emotional and physical abuse, none of which should be applauded or glorified. But as Eric Dane recently told E! News, this show is more a cautionary tale than it is an aspirational story. Ahead of Season 2, Zendaya even warned, Euphoria is for mature audiences. So, we're not necessarily celebrating these couples, but we do see the jokes on Twitter and we agree that Cassie is in over her head when it comes to Nate. Without further ado, keep scrolling to hear our take on these pairings. 1. Lexi. No, they're not technically a couple, but we're rooting for them, so we're putting this one out into the universe. Fez may be a drug dealer and Lexi may be a goody two-shoes, but it's not like that's a secret. Plus, there's no harm in having a little fun. Maybe hell even help Lexi loosen up a bit. 2. Kat. Kat may not be in love with Ethan, but we haven't seen him hit or yell at her like some other couples in this series. This relationship is just a fun and frivolous romance, as it should be for these high schoolers. 3. Jules. There's no denying that Jules and Elliot are in the wrong for lying to Rue about their hookup. But in the grand scheme of things, these two seem like a better match than Rue and Jules, who has admitted that she's more comfortable with men than women. It also seems like Jules likes the idea of being with Rue. Marathon, she actually likes her. If Elliot is able to physically and emotionally satisfy Jules, then why keep them apart? 4. Nate. While they aren't technically together, don't let Maddie hear that. Since they've gone their separate ways, Maddie has realized she loves Nate in her own unique way and she's started to think that he could be the only man for her. With Nate, it's totally unclear how he feels since his judgment is shrouded by the fact that Maddie has his dad's sex tape. They're matched in their will to protect each other, with Nate even sending a man that Maddie claims raped her to the only positive thing about this pairing is that they're aware how toxic they are, and it seems like that's healthier than lying to yourself. 5. Jules. Yes, Rules is a cute nickname, but it's just not going to work for these two. In theory, they could have been good for each other, but the reality is that they aren't a good match. Between Rue hiding her drug abuse and Jules' insecurities, as well as her obvious attraction to Elliot, it's clear that this relationship is destined to end. 6. Cassie. Cassie seems to think that she and Nate are a better match than him and Maddie, but clearly, she needs a reality check. And though there have been many red flags throughout their so-called relationship, the biggest one is that he was willing to drink and drive with her in the car. That's not love, that's just